ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Beyond the Summit broadcast. We're broadcasting the AMD Premier League, and this is the other half of the semifinals. This is Invasion, MUFC on one side, and Zenith on the other. I am Luminous, and I'm joined by BTS Gods. This should be an awesome best of three. You know a ton about these two teams because you cast them a lot, and of course, there's Winter here as well. We're, I guess, sort of cheering for him.
Yeah, sort of cheering for him. I know a ton about Winter, that's for sure. More stuff than that goes well beyond Dota. But you know a lot about these two teams as well, Lumi. Don't put yourself down.
I'm okay. I know that right now I'm agreeing with you that I think the MUFC team is a little bit underdog. And whoa,
someone's
typing police out there.
Whoa, sorry, Lumi. Got some important messages. I'll chill back on the typing.
Okay. I know fangirls are always sending you messages. I understand.
Oh yeah, got a new fangirl just today actually. Been messaging back and forth quite a bit.
Damn.
She's quite cute from Thailand.
Yeah.
So.
I think nerds out there all jealous. But let's actually get back into the draft here. MUFC is gonna have the first pick in ban. Lifestealer as well as Lone Druid being banned now. Zenith is gonna take away Batrider and Magnus. This is where in a European game I will go crazy because Wisp is in the pool, but we saw Wisp being picked up by Rising Star twice earlier today, and the impact wasn't really there.
Yeah, it wasn't really there at all, and neither of these two teams likely to play Wisp. I had never seen MUFC do it. It's not really something in their playbook. Maybe Zenith, though. They're a team who will draft pick absolutely anything and everything. They seem to be able to make heroes that you don't think are viable somewhere or another.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we've seen things ranging from offlane Juggernaut to Jungle Tinker. It really is everything for Zenith, and of course they're the team that is famous for like solo mid-axe as well as no ban strat, but seems like for now they're going to be doing a little bit of standard and open up with Nyx Assassin and Gyrocopter.
Yep, grabbing the Nyx Gyrocopter, nothing really too out of the ordinary there. MUFC, first pick actually right onto Shadow Demon. This hero has really just become higher and higher priority, I feel, as every week, just because of how versatile he is as an aggressive lineup, defensively, as a setup. Disruption is an amazing, every spell he has like some amazing ability to be good in the early, mid to late game. So it's such a good hero. It leads into so many different things here. MUFC can pick up their other support to go with it now, but more likely they probably look to pick up one of their solos, maybe some kind of a semi-carry or one of their main carries here as well.
Yeah, I feel like Shadow Demon is some sort of enigmatic to me because you see him first pick here in MUFC versus Zenith, and you don't see him generally pick up at all in some Western games, and it just makes me beg the question. Offensively, he's okay. He doesn't give you the guaranteed disable stun by himself, and well, he does definitely set you up. But of course, more importantly, point out that he is one of the few support heroes in the entire game that has the spell that go through BKB, and that's definitely a very big point. But the second and third pick here is going to be Dragon Knight and Darkseer. So we've seen Dragon Knight being picked up more and more lately in the Western scene as well. But back here, what does DK really accomplish? He's a decent pushing carry, but I'm not sure if you want to pick him up second phase, and it's going to allow the Dire to really construct the entire draft around it.
Yeah, DK as a solo mid, I think it's just one of those heroes which it's kind of like the Mag solo mid, with Mag taken out, of course, this game round, where you just sit back, you spam your nuke, you get your farm up, you sort of transition. You're a lot more farm dependent than a Mag. You need to get that normally a fast Shadow Blade up nice and fast, but to me it's a hero which they just wanted to pick up early because there's no real, okay, they picked DK, let's get this to counter. I think MUFC maybe want to wait and see what Zenith pick before choosing what their safe lane farmer is going to be.
Yeah, of course, there is a possibility that it doesn't have to be a solo mid DK. I think in the past we've seen things like AADK dual lanes that have been doing a ton of work. Of course, you could even throw a Shadow Demon on top, and that's a very, very potent tri-lane, but I assume it's going to be a solo mid as well. Rubik's going to be the picked up here, and if you could actually pick up a vacuum or a wall, which is spell steal, it's a big game. But the surprising thing is that they picked Darkseer into a Nyx Assassin because if you eat a mono burn in a team fight, you're done. You're not casting everything, whether that's a wall you're not casting or a vacuum, or even if you're forced to not cast a mech or pipe. That's absolutely huge. Darkseer has a very limited mono pool. It's big, but Nyx Assassin doesn't care about that. He mono burns you once, you're done.
Yeah, Nyx Assassin, once that comes out, it really can shut down the lane and controller. Well, we'll get to the second ban stage now, as we do see MUFC banning out some of those strong solo mids, probably looking at Gyrocopter most likely in the tri lane, looking at Rubik, gyrocopter, Nick Assassin tri-lane, or we can look back to what Tongfu did, where it's a safe lane solo gyrocopter, and then you get some kind of a strong tri-lane. But as far as tri-lane farmers go, aggressive tri-lanes, gyrocopters fits great there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether Nyx Assassin and Rubik are the best support in aggressive tri-lane, especially against the Shadow Demon, but it's definitely a possibility. But I think Zenith will look towards more of a defensive tri-lane where their support will have access into pools and maybe even set up a gank on the mid lane. DK is a tanky hero, but he's definitely very gankable.
10 seconds.
I wonder if MUFC is going to be focusing on their bans right now to protect that DK. Queen and Pain is kind of the big one, and they have taken her away out of the pool, but against just about everything else, DK should suffice.
Yeah, I think for DK in the mid lane, he's not going to be too worried about too many of these maps. I don't think there's any real put this here in mid. DK gets completely destroyed. But MUFC are looking to ban some of those strong ranged nukers. Tinker, Queen, and Pain both taken out. I think DK can still handle those okay just with the fast bottle build, but I think MUFC say, hey, let's just give him an easier lane if possible.
Yeah, DK is not exactly your insane laner, and I feel like Zenith could definitely take advantage of it by maybe taking a greedier mid than you normally would. I don't know what that greedy mid is, but there's definitely some mid heroes that you don't see often, and you could definitely place them here now without too much fear, because Dragon Knight, like you said, he's not going to lose every lane, but he's not going to win many lanes as well. He's kind of your hero that just want to do his own thing, Flame Breath away with Bottle Crow and whatnot. I want to see Zenith maybe even go into a Sky Wrath Mage here. It's so good against Darkseer because he likes to surge in and drop his stuff, but not when Ancient Seal is on top. And the laning stage against Dragon Knight is actually very advantageous.
It's like one of the heroes who can, I feel, maybe destroy a Dragon Knight, more so than a Queen of Pain or Tinker could. And Ice has been playing tons of Skywrath Mage in pubs as soon as the hero came out, but generally he goes into the off lane, so maybe it's not a hero he would play for Zenith.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Zenith, their players are so damn versatile in terms of their world that it doesn't really matter. If they really want to send Ice mid, they could definitely rotate the entire Shroud around. It's going to be Alchemist in front, so suddenly this Invasion MUFC lineup just got insanely tanky because both DK and Alchemist are, you know, your sturdy kind of frontline strength heroes. And of course, Dragon Knight tanky in both HP and armor. Alchemist lacking a little bit of armor, but he could easily pick out Assault. And, well, suddenly your Nyx Assassin and Rubik's team, they're like cute things now. They're not actually real heroes, in fact, right next to DK and Alk.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a hero which MUFC had some great success with. Back when they were playing the Armageddon Singapore LAN tournament, they did quite a bit with Alchemist, and they've been doing it lately. You can go from a super farm heavy build, which is, well, what Hontrash player is famous for, just farming up a storm and just being this super late game carry player. Kind of like the burning of Southeast Asia. But if you want, you can go more aggressive, get more points in the stun, the unstable concoction, look to combo with Shadow Demon and another aggressive support. Leshrac as well as Lina are both left in the pool, so we probably see one of those two pickups for the last pick from MUFC.
Any chance of Invasion MVC going something like Mouseboard and just run Alchemist as a support, SD Alk roaming around and even get greedy with another carry? This is something that's possible, but I really don't think will be.
You know, it's funny. Winter's done that a lot. Like, as far as teams who've run support Alchemist, Winter, like, I remember talking to him and he's like, man, I love support Alchemists. I love playing this as support hero. So if you've just, like, this is like the team who likes to do support Alchemist. They've been playing it mostly as a carry, but they will play it as a support every now and then.
Okay, so we'll see if they're going to pick up another.
Oh, there's your Skywrath.
Yeah, and he will actually does quite well against DK, even against Alchemist as well. This is something I'm also quite worried about. Invasion MUFC. It's not something we talk about too often, but Aegis would be not exactly your top tier kind of goal for this game because for both transformation heroes, it actually doesn't do that much. It's like, oh, okay, you kill them, it comes back as the Knight and as the melee Alchemist with, you know, low HP and slow attack speed.
About time.
I'm not sure whether that will be playing off as an impact, but
yeah, they're on the Radiant side. I think getting an Aegis from UFC is going to be ridiculously hard anyways, being on the Radiant side. If they're getting Aegis and Roshan, it's because they're so far ahead that Aegis will help, and it doesn't really matter that when they die, they respawn in melee form or whatever it is for DK.
Oh, we'll see if it's a point that will come up a little bit later on. It's going to be Skywrath Mage for Zenith. What is the last carry or off lane here against for Zenith? I mean, Gyrocopter is a fine carry, but that's a lot of HP that he has to go through. I'm not sure whether Gyrocopter alone could do it. The off lane is going to have to do a lot of lifting as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see where Zenith go. Whether maybe we even look towards that offensive tri lane. it could
10
be
seconds
an option for
remaining.
Zenith, and then they need to get a 1v1 matchup against Darkseid, which is not many heroes who go well there. Visage.
Oh god.
Zenith's
Oh man,
turn
this
to
is a
pick.
scary tri lane. Winter on the Visage, something MUFC pulled out a few times recently as well, so I guess they're going to go safe lane with this tri lane. Sure, it can go offensive, but I feel it's very risky when you've got a melee farming hero in Alchemist, and if Shadow Demon Visage don't find the kills, well, I don't think the lane goes all too fantastic for them. You're up against a Gyrocopter as well, so I think they just go safe lane and look to punish whatever offlane heroes Zenith have, or if Zenith send their tri lane there,
10
then they'll be quite
seconds
happy with that.
remaining.
I think I'm gonna agree with you with the safe lane here, because if you go offensive trialing
5
against the Nyx
seconds
Assassin, it's
remaining.
very easy for him to select mana burn your Visage once or twice. That's it. Like, your lane is done, because Visage 170
10
is his soul
seconds
assumption, and
remaining.
his mana pool is not big enough to spam two of them. It's gonna be a Juggernaut off lane or whether safe lane farm. We'll have to wait and see. I'm also kind of a little bit surprised by the Visage pick. It's a great hero, don't get me wrong, but mid game, late game, your birds are free money bags for the Gyrocopter. So there's definitely a ton of confidence picking that Visage up, or is the Visage? I think both pronunciation are correct or wrong at the same time, depending who you ask.
Yeah. Visage, Visage, as long as you don't say, well, I remember Visage is what you don't say.
Okay.
But
I'm pretty
depending
sure I
what,
say that
depending,
sometimes, too.
depending where you learn English from, depending what whether you think it's a more French-based word or something more American, it does have many pronunciations.
In any case, looks like both teams is drafting their lineup. Seems like Winter will be playing the Shadow Demon. We have FZ is going to be playing on the
What's with all the
10
Dragonite.
seconds remaining.
WWK on the Darkseer. Chuan, or Trash Han player
5 seconds
will be Alchemist.
remaining.
And we're going to have ABC on Visage.
I guess that's Ling, I think, playing Visage, and that means Darkseer is going to be TFG. These MUFC players don't know how to maintain a brand, maintain their names.
Seriously, I mean...
I mean, confusing us is one thing, but like as far as like promoting yourself as a player, it's not very smart.
Well, we know who Winter is.
Yeah. Well,
We know who
Winter's
his Trash Han player is, you know.
his teammates. I mean, if you want to have, I mean, it's not all about being famous. I mean, obviously, players, you shouldn't have a big ego and care about stardom and whatnot, but people need to know who you are. It's what you're being paid to do.
Yeah. Well, on the other side, I think these guys are a little bit easier to pronounce here. XY will be playing on the Gyrocopter. Freedom will be on Rubik. Ice on Nyx Assassin. Or excuse me, Ice on Juggernaut. Ice on Nyx Assassin. And looks like Yamate will be playing the Skyraft Mage mid.
Yep. Well, we'll see how things look to unravel there. I'm curious how DK will manage against Scarif. I think this is going to be a big struggle for FC. He's going to have to really... Okay, I like this item build coming out from FC. He's got a very early magic stick, and I think this is going to be what he tries to use to help him against the Scarif Mage, not even going full rush on the bottle.
Sometimes you go... If you're going to go bottle rush, you need to get Tango and a Salve. And I think Salve plus magic stick might be a little bit more effective, but... it's really not that too big of a deal. Ice. I think this is an offlane Juggernaut. We really don't know. It looks like they're going to really offensively smoke and go for a pickoff. This is, again, a very risky move because you're doing it against Visage, one of the best level 1 heroes in the entire game. He drops 2 nukes, you're halfway dead.
Darkseer Iron Shell does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Disruption. This is even unstable concoction. MUFC have a scary 5-man, but so does Zenith with Gyrocopter and Juggernaut.
Oh, they're gonna run in there. They see Han Trash player lift into. Oh my god, he's gonna eat a spin to the face. Defensive disrupt, a ton of spells, not doing a ton. And now, oh no, Wise is gonna actually get out of there. And huge nukes are coming out. They're gonna get a first blood. Winter's on the run. And look at, you can see that the second nukes are coming off cooldown very soon. Winter is gonna die to it, and Impale's actually gonna miss as well. Waiwa just runs back in. They want a little bit more. They do get the Nyx Assassin as well. Out of mana is ABC. Nice body blocking coming up from Ice. He's trying to run. I think he should be fine. He's really trying to get to safety to his tower, but no, he's gonna go down as well. 3-3 trade. It looks like mana is running low for both teams. And that should be it. I guess MUFC got the lead because they got the first blood. I really don't know.
I mean, that just seems like a break-even point. I guess it's going to matter who's in what lane now. Right now, XY died on the Gyrocopter, but that's going to be okay for him because he's already top. TP Scroll gets bought by the Darkseid to get up top. Already level 2, though. So actually, Darkseid maybe gets a slight edge having this level 2 because he got Surge level 1, and that would have hurt him in this lane, but now he's level 2. He has the Iron Shell. He can drop that at top lane, but what a crazy way to start things off here. Some incredible play. To me, the big thing, that disruption meant Alchemist took 0 damage. They threw so many nukes, a Blade Fury as well as a Skyrath Arcane Bolt at the Alchemist, and they did no damage to him.
I'm surprised that Darkseid select the Surge for one. I think Iron Shot would have done
Yeah.
a ton more. Look at how the heroes were clumping there. And of course, as expected, Soul Assumption and Disruption did a ton of work there as well. The big thing for me is that Skywrath Mage, despite being out of mana right now, has almost go for his bottle. So Dragonite already very far behind because he used all of his Tango now and no bottle just yet. A ton of ping going on in the defensive jungle. As looks like just pings and nothing much really on.
FC's bringing himself up more regen. He's not even looking to try and save for a bottle. I think he's just accepted the fact he's going to need these Tangos and Salves to hold himself in mid lane. He probably saw that Yamete did have the early kill, so he knows Yamete's bottle's coming and a lot of spam is going to be harassing this DK. So he has to stay in mid lane. He just needs the levels for now, so he'll use that gold to get that extra regen.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the best kind of offensive trialing to throw against this MUFC trialing because Juggernaut's always going to be the person that's in front and there's really no real way to harass. It doesn't matter if you disrupt into a stun from Alchemist, he'll just spin it away. Your Soul Assumption is not going to do anything. So as long as these two support don't get caught out, well, yeah, I think Zenith is okay. Really good drafting here coming out from Freedom.
Yeah, from both teams though. I think MUFC with the trialing, the big thing is here, there's no real easy way. If there's a disruption, Alchemist stun should generally land. There is both a telekinesis as well as a Nyx Assassin Impale, but both of those are pretty short stuns, and Alchemist, if he gets in a good position, maybe they don't get a kill, but you're not going to be stunning yourself.
Top towers
That's definitely the case.
down.
We have MUFC. Be threatening to check a rune, but it is going to be up top. Skywrath Mage, that's a regen. The lane, I want to say, I don't want to say it's lost, but it's absolutely very, very difficult for Dragonite to come back at this point.
Yeah. Oh, DK. He's not winning this lane, but he is going to be able to get his bottle up very soon, which is actually okay for him. He's got all these magic stick charges. This is essentially acting as like a mini bottle because of the spam coming from the Skywrath Mage. You want to get farm? Well, the main thing the magic stick is giving him is mana regen, so he can spam his flame breath. He's getting the HP regen a little bit there, but he had the Tango Salves. He's got his bottle now, so this mid lane will stabilize a little bit. Skywrath Mage can still out-nuke the bottle heal because he's going to have to continually send it back and forth, but I think DK will be okay with this.
Looks like they want to make it go on the bot lane. It's going to be on Han Trash play. Winter out of position for that defensive disrupt. Is he going to actually be using it? Looks like they want to go right back, offensively disrupting on the Nyx Assassin, but lift into a stun. Stun will hit. It gets redirected though, and now Han Trash play being trapped completely in. Healing Word was already dropped. Han Trash play now walking back out. Is he going to make it out there?
Oh, Nick's dead.
Woo! Salve is going to bring him back up. Han Trash play still tango in. He actually is going to have a stun. He has to fight his way out of here. Right click for your life, and he's not going to get the kill. Meanwhile, Juggernaut chasing one. He's going to get one. He's looking for a second one here. Ice, and his trialing winning it big time there.
Nice bit of play there. Nyx Assassin salved off the last hit that was going to kill him off right before it hits. He does have to go back and heal now, but really nice job denying Ling of a kill on that Visage.
Yeah, and Visage is a hero that needs a ton of kills early on to really make his mid-game impact to be important. He needs items like Mech. Some players like the Medallion and to Acceptor, but whatever you get, those are very expensive items, and denying that kill is pretty big here.
Yeah, no, nice bit of play at Zenith. This is going to give him a slider to this bottom lane. As far as the other two solo lanes go, Darkseid versus Gyrocopter, pretty much dead even as far as farm goes. Mid lane, we have the DK versus Skywrath. Skywrath, Yamete, he's winning the farm battle only barely. It's really not much separating the two. 15 CS to the 17, so FC are going to be pretty happy with that. He is a level behind Skywrath Mage, but DK not as level dependent. He'll be okay as long as he's not dying against Skywrath.
Well, he might actually die though, because level 6 Skywrath is coming very soon. In fact, he has it right now. And, well, he does have 7 now, 8 charges on the Magic Wand. Every charge is so important for him to survive against that huge ultimate from Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, I think he'll be popping a salve, or at least popping some of those bottle charges. Yeah, he pops a salve right now, knowing you have to be full HP at the start of that, and you want to have the magic sticks on top of the full HP. So Skywrath will just keep on spamming and try and wait for DK to make a bit of a mistake as far as how much HP he's sitting on.
Yeah, the big surprise for me is the fact that this defensive trialing is actually losing right now. The farming is pretty much similar, and you see that Grievous Grease allow him to get a little bit of extra gold, but for the most part, the kills has been on Zenith's side. And you expect, going up against Visage, you expect the trialing to lose against Visage.
Yep. Well, it hasn't happened so far, and Juggernaut having the magic immunity against him, it really helps a lot. Nyx Assassin and Rubik are starting to get some of those levels. I love this early point in Carapace. Normally, you'd maybe think to get that point in Mana Burn, but against the Alchemist stun, which you can pretty much guarantee you block the damage as well as sort of return some stun onto him,
and
it's a fantastic pick-up. Yeah, both these heroes, high damage nukes, really helpful.
Yeah, and now face with up on the ice, and how do you actually get a kill on this trialing? In fact, how do you actually protect yourself? If you either impale a spin into a face activation, you're not going to be running away, so you're forced to actually fight against these two very kind of nuke-heavy supports on the Zenith side. So Zenith is actually looking quite good. In fact, these two support could rotate off and start pushing or pulling, whatever they want to do. And Ice should be absolutely fine in this lane. He won't be dying anymore.
Yep, well, see, MUFC, while this trailing hasn't worked out as picture perfect as they would hope, they're still pretty much breaking close to even against Zenith in the overall big picture. They've got DK at mid, who now going to find himself getting a gank from behind. Oh, Skywrath ultimate actually misses. FC still silent. They're going to get the DK stun with the range stun, and NWP Yamate gets brought down at the mid lane. So smart rotation from MUFC. They bring the two supports. They get DK a kill. Well, it goes to the Visage, but either way, they get a kill. Gives DK some more XP, helps man against Skywrath, and slows down that Skywrath snowball.
Yeah, looks like these two supports are also smoked up. They gotta land that impale blindly. It's gonna hit, but Ice is really far off. So yeah, it's a smoke being wasted and not gonna do anything. Face not a little bit too far. It looks like the two support for MUFC now rotated up top. Of course, creep skipping from WWK will allow them to cut this one off. And Gyrocopter runs into the two support. This rocket barrage is gonna do a ton of damage, but the offensive disruption will pull him away, and suddenly he's in huge trouble. Soul Assumption will fire off, and that's yet another kill. Great rotations here from the support of MUFC. Kills being had everywhere they went.
It's something MUFC do really well is their actual laning. Sometimes they maybe have some slightly mistimed spells or lose a lane they shouldn't, but once their supports start roaming, they find kills so well. They smoke gank really well, and we're seeing them sort of get themselves a slight edge here, possibly even a fast T1 tower at top with those support rotations.
And look at YY's position in the mid lane. He is sending so far away from this particular area. You notice that the support has been missing, and he's going to be flame breath farming anyways. So X Freedom tanks a couple tower shots. His position compromised, and YY is okay.
Trouble brewing.
Well, as soon as you see just the one here at bottom, he knew that the rotation was maybe coming from the jungle. He's standing in a smart position, and he's perfectly okay. It's more MUFC just getting further and further ahead with this map awareness of it. I say further ahead there. It's a very, very slight lead of theirs, but the early tier 1 tower at this point is where you want to start taking towers. Ice on Juggernaut. He's level 6, almost level 7. Hasn't really got too involved since getting that Omni Slash. We haven't seen it come out yet.
Well. Ice threatening to actually drop, but a very smart lane pulling, doubling his own wave, and now Alchemist can't even farm because as soon as his creep wave dive, a very easy Omni Slash into spin means he's dead, especially without access into his own ultimate. I'm very surprised that Ice just didn't spin away this creep wave. Maybe he'll do so right now.
It's a lot of farming. I think he wants to save his mana so that he has both spin and ultimate, because that's how he's going to try and look to kill the Alchemist. Alchemist has enough HP to survive the Omni Slash, but with Phase Boots, Blade Fury, that'll finish him off.
Gotta be careful if you're Yamate. It's very easy for Dragonite to go into range for him and suddenly stun you out of nowhere. The range is insane. It's an instant stun. I do believe the Dragonite transformation is very instant as well. So you can see that both team supports are hovering behind their solo mid, making sure that they could even protect their support in the first play, protect their solo mid, excuse me, and then go for kills when the opportunity arises.
D-Ward happens at top lane. Actually, Darkseer TFG manages to D-ward something there, which is going to just help out. He's going to make him a bit harder to be ganked off. Nyx Assassin's still just level 4. Ice is really not finding the levels he needs to get too proactive ganking on the map, and this is something for Zenith. Their support rotation, Nyx Assassin Rubik, does not compare to a Shadow Demon Visage roaming around the map.
Yeah, unfortunately, like you said, they don't have the level, and they really haven't had the access into their own jungle for a couple pulls. Yamate looking for a solo pickoff. Does this Sentry... Oh, they see it, right? The Sentry Ward does see Yamate, and he's gonna get stunned here. Oh!
That's where you have to, like, sort of, like, play
pretend,
dead.
like, pretend not to know, right?
Yeah. You just go keep hitting creeps as if you didn't see him and hope that he walks a bit closer. And then you go at him when you're guaranteed that stun, but... MUFC, they need to work on their acting skills.
Yeah, man.
Radiant's bottom
take some lessons.
Better days.
They need to get the director, Zhao Wei, on their side.
And did you see that picture of Zhao Wei? He's got the girl.
Yeah, he got the he got the girl a while ago. I mean, I don't mean to spoil people's hopes, but the show was a bit staged.
I see.
Sorry to blow your world, Lemmy, but he's been playing like pubs and like had that girl for some time now, apparently.
Well, I thought he was a little bit sad, but maybe that's why they lost to CTY and ZSMJ, because too busy with girls, man.
It wouldn't be the only team torn apart because of player girlfriends.
Damn, shots fired. I'll leave it at that. As looks like WWK. Oh no, ABC a little bit caught out. He's gonna get picked off here.
Skyrath still has ultimate, so this is going to be dangerous for MUFC. They need to be very careful here. And Zenith, they're still chasing. No concussive shot, can't quite get vision, so looks like Zenith going to back things off. And the birds, they're familiars. This is actually really painful for Ice. One stun, going to see a second stun come out. Can MUFC catch him up? Surge on the DK. He's got the range form now if he wants to pop it. DK stun. Flame Breath will finish him off with an Iron Shell, so nice chase from MUFC. They got the extra numbers, then they chased on in. And they've still got Alchemist farming at the bottom lane, although he seems to be struggling a bit against this Juggernaut. Juggernaut in the off lane is leading the CS charts right now.
Yeah, it's very easy for Juggernaut to zone out the Alchemist. The fact that you're threatening him to walk in for an Omni Slash, and the fact that, like you said, he's keeping his mana high, so you never really can know whether he has it. It looks like he wants to get a pick off on the mid lane, diving even past the tower. XY should be focusing to kill basically all of these creep waves. In fact, he's going to be cutting in Winter, trying to D-ward, and that ward might be the last thing that he's going to be hitting for a while, because he's in big trouble right now. Courier comes in as well. Courier needs to get microwave. He does. And looks like he's got a self-disrupt, but he's going to eat a huge Mystic Flare. Maybe a little bit spending too many spells. Nice ice coming here from the back. Drum's going to get popped as well. Omni Slash should follow through. He's going to stun, but a call down should follow through as well. He's going to try to TP out. No luck there.
That was just two heroes caught between 4 or 5 heroes sandwich of Team Zenith there. Not really a kind of fight that MUFC were looking to take down. They really focus on these small rotations around the map. It works the first couple times, but once Zenith catch wind of it, then they brought numbers. Then they had 4 or 5 heroes there. Ice finally leaves the bottom lane and sets up a good fight for Team Zenith.
Now they're going to try to look towards getting this tier 1, but it's very easy for Invasion MUFC to defend. Back. Oh, this is what I mean by Ancient Seal doing so good against the Darkseer. Mana Burn to seal the deal. Darkseer thought he was going to vacuum and set up a wall combo, but Yabate says, think of man, I got a long-range silence.
Well, Darkseer, early staff of Wizardry, I guess going for a 4 staff here?
Yeah. I think it's actually a very, very important item. 4 staff is so important against Mystic Flare. You get slow, you get Mystic Flare drop on top of you, 4 staff you out. And also it doubles as an initiation tool here, especially against the Ancient Seal. So basically, in my opinion, a pure counter to a Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, well, we'll see. MUFC right now, I guess, are they waiting for these items like the 4 staff, like DK, to maybe start taking up some more? Because there's not really anything in the foreseeable future that's going to change a whole lot, apart from maybe the Shadow Blade for Alchemist, in my eyes at least. Maybe the mech for the Darkseer. Well, sorry, who's actually getting this mech? Is this Visage? Yeah, Visage is going for the mech. So no real items coming up all that soon for them, apart from maybe the Shadow Blade. It seems like they have to play a bit passive and maybe farm for the next sort of 5-10 minutes.
I mean, is there any pressure for them to go offensive? The late game for Zenith, they have a Gyrocopter and a Juggernaut, and Gyrocopter, he's leading the entire game to farm, so that's somewhat dangerous. And of course, we know definitely what Gyrocopter can do in late game, but if you look at his item set, he's gone for more mid-game oriented with the drums first, and most likely going to go into BKB, yeah. So he's not going to be dropping the big deeps much later on. And when you have heroes like DK as well as Alchemist, you could definitely go late.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't think they have to be looking to just shut down and control Zenith early game. The one hero they have to worry a bit about is always going to be the Gyrocopter, but he's 1, 3, and 4. He's not really doing all too well in terms of farm, and Juggernaut's gone for a very early to mid-game build with the phased drums, so I think if MUFC start getting their heroes scaling towards the late game, they can look to compete with Zenith. The supports as well. Darkseer great in the late game, Shadow Demon pretty good. So-so, but I think for MUFC, they just need to look for some smart pickoffs here and there, look to keep on farming, maybe even start taking down some more towers, not giving Zenith too many ganks or good team fights for them.
Yep. Looks like WWK already almost have his 4-staff finish. I think another very decent item against Skywrath is a Yule Scepter, and I think that's somewhat of a forgotten item totally in the first place, because you could always debuff the Ancient Seal by cycling yourself up in the air, or cycling yourself up in the air when you're getting focused by the Mystic Flare. But we'll see. Also, this is one thing we haven't talked about is Zenith triple stack, and looks like XY will be cleaning it up. And I'm somewhat surprised that Zenith is triple stacking, because I haven't seen Zenith Ancient stack in the past when I casted their games.
Similar thing happening on the MUFC side. They've got the Alchemist as well with the maxed out Acid Spray. Something to be of note, he only just got his 2nd point in Greevil's Greed, so he's not going... He was looking for that sort of in the laning state to be early, more aggressive. Well, at least having 2 points in Unstable Concoction, but he's using the Acid Spray to try and farm these Ancients.
Yeah, they do physical damage. Unfortunately, they don't really go as quickly as a Marching Machine, for example. Yeah. But eventually, it will break them. He's not getting the EXP. Nobody's getting the XP. That's a big loss.
I agree. I'm surprised by this. You've got some, I mean, level 9 only on the Alchemist. All these MUFC heroes could do a bit with this XP.
Like Winter and Visage,
Yeah.
they need that EXP. But looks like they're more afraid of perhaps a little bit of Zenith venturing into their ancient stack. They have been losing a couple of these team fights and definitely not strong enough to take some.
Zenith, not. I guess the one thing about this is it's the safest way to do it. You're not putting any heroes there. You can be ready to take a fight elsewhere. They put the Sentry Ward right on top of Ice.
So good. Now,
saw her.
Yeah, they saw Ice, and you never put a Sentry Ward there. But hey, it worked.
It gives vision towards the mid lane as well as over on the right side, so it's actually a pretty smart placement. I guess there's always a chance that Zenith have a Sentry Ward of their own in the mid lane, so it's very hard to de-ward this Sentry.
Yeah, but hey. He realized that there might be a Nyx assassin going on somewhere, and
yeah, well, both teams sit back a bit more. Let's keep on farming. DK TP's top and looking to, I guess, go for a BKB at this point. He probably wants to get that up as fast as possible, considering there's a Skywrath mage as well as a Gyrocopter. Even the two supports can offer quite a bit of burst damage as well.
I'm personally not a fan of BKB on Dragon Knight. I feel like his damage output, sure he's splashing, it's just such a low impact until he hits level 16. I feel like secondarily, when your true carry is going to be on Han Trash player, you could actually afford to go a little bit ballsy. Go on the front line, maybe be the drums, maybe go for a Maelstrom. Just pick up some damage item. You're naturally tanky in the first place. And looks like they're going to get picked off, both of them on the top lane, because an entire party is coming their way.
Yeah, Dark's going to be the first big call. He could save his life. He needs a surge here. Silence still going. The stun. Not coming just yet.
And Dragon Knight on the back line, he's going to get initiated by Mystic Flare, but he's very tanky. He's going to be surviving. No defensive disruption, but WWK, a huge vacuum wall on top, and let's see how many they can pick off here. Ice is low. Ice is going to be picked off to offensive right click as well. Force Staff doing so much work.
Shadow Poison plus the Destruction Illusion just did so much. What a play from the Darkseid. He got the ultimate of his life off, and that's a level 1 ultimate. That's only a 15-second duration, but they made the most of that 15 seconds. They won the fight, got 4 kills, only Juggernaut survives.
And boys and girls, that's why you get Force Staff. It is such an important item against this particular team as well. Initiation power, not going to get fired off by Han Trash Power. And he goes back to the farm train, which I don't think he minds at all.
I'll be looking for his next item coming up soon, and I guess we're looking towards something to help him maybe tank up a bit more, whether it's a BKB for the survivability, maybe even just the straight Heart of Terras there. I see some Alchemists go, but all in all, MUFC win a big decisive fight, and all of a sudden, we're pretty much back to even as far as the gold earn goes.
And that's exactly what MUFC wants to be doing. I think they want to draw the game out a little bit, take advantage of the level 16 Dragon Knight, take advantage of the Darkseer wall, which it's a big team fight ultimate against Zenith, and more importantly, take advantage of that Grievous read. So the longer this game goes, it's more and more favor for MUFC.
Yep. I feel like they need a mech. If they had a mech in that fight, they could maybe save some more lives here, like this DK. DK, once again, though, getting caught out. He does dodge a lot of that damage with the defensive disruption, but that's not going to save him. He gets caught out, brought down once again. So the lack of mech on the MUFC side is slightly hurting them, like in that top lane fight, which is something which Darkseid the Force Staff is great, but he's the only one really farming. I feel like he could get a mech maybe faster than the Visage, but it's not really happening right now.
Yeah, and maybe perhaps with that Zenith looking to press the tier 2 a little bit. They have dropped both their big ultimates. Of course, the Skywrath Mage ultimate does have a fairly short cooldown. A level, looks like this. A little bit of disruption for Ice. Vacuum backwards. He's spinning away. Spell being stolen. I'm not too exactly sure what was being stolen. In fact, they want to get a kill on Ice. Oh, Nuke is going to come through from Visage. Going to get 1 kill. In fact, they could chase for X Freedom. Grave Chill coming off cooldown. The Bird should be sending Surge into the Bird stun. They will be landing that one on Freedom, and Freedom should be dead. Where's the slow? Where's the slow? Oh no, they lost sight because of the uphill vision.
Not going to chase it down. Also worried about maybe some TPs in from either, well, most likely the Gyrocopter. FC's still farming a top lane. Tau actually gets taken by Gyrocopter, but decent fight, really cute little surge onto the bird there. That's the first time I've ever seen something like that. But MUFC, not finding all the kills they were hoping for, but once again, they push Zenith back, they get more space for Alchemist to keep on farming. Alchemist going to stack 2 neutral camps at once here over on the far right side of the jungle, so his farm's still starting to skyrocket.
Yeah, very, very nice. Acid Spray, we'll be stacking them, and look at the golds. It's going to be ting, 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 and it's going to be up to about 3k soon. And that's where you really start to wonder what exactly is going to be this item. I don't think this is going to be some old school Radiance build.
I don't think a Radiance is a very good item anymore, especially on Alchemist. But probably, if you want damage, you go for something like the Maelstrom. Alternatively, if you want survivability, it's either like BKB or Heart.
Yeah. Or maybe the good old Assault Curious.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's quite a bit of physical damage coming out from both Juggernaut as well as the Gyrocopter.
Well, we talked about the Roshan during the draft, but it's going to be Zenith that's going to be taking the Roshan. The Healing Orb, who of course doing a ton of work there. And I don't think the Radiant team actually know about this at all. They should sort of have an idea, but Winter's just pulling, like he's not making any movement towards that area of the map. And look at the deep warding here by Zenith. They will see any kind of group up here, especially this is where team likes to group up and smoke. So very good war coverage from Zenith.
Zenith, they sneak the Roshan completely, and if MUFC knew, they would definitely look to contest that, so they get caught by surprise there, and a lot of it was because Yamate was positioned in mid lane just farming away, so he was sort of pretending as if nothing was going on, maybe sort of hinting that his own team was sitting behind him or in his jungle, just farming away in the jungle, so nice little bit of play there coming out from Zenith.
So I've been asking this to a lot of my co-casters. What do you feel about Skywrath Mage going mid? Is he really a great mid hero? Because we've seen in the past some of these mid heroes, such as like Rubik. Remember when Rubik was going in mid? Even further back, if you want to say Shadow Demon was going mid. I feel like, is there any future for Skywrath Mage maybe getting somewhat quote-unquote demoted off to the support role? Because sure, he's not going to have the huge item output as a solo mid Skywrath Mage, but really if he drops off a Mystic Flare, he dropped off a Mystic Flare, teamfight's done. Ancient Seal is always going to be good.
I think he's better in the mid lane than as a support, because you look at heroes like Rubik and Shadow Demon, they actually are good mids. I don't think they're bad mids. They got demoted to support because they can be a support. There actually aren't that many viable support heroes compared to viable solo mids. There's probably about 30 different heroes you can solo mid. As far as support goes, there's only like 5 to 10 top tier supports, which is why heroes like Shadow Demon and Rubik generally get put there, even though they are good mids, I feel. Generally the heroes you see mid are like heroes which can't really lane anywhere else.
Okay, that's a fair point. And I think the more important thing is Skywrath Mage gets a lot better when you have all your spells maxed out. Ancient Seal
almost gets brought down here by an Invis Alchemist done with some birds. I think the other big thing with Skywrath Mage as a support is he doesn't have a setup like a Telekinesis or a Shadow Demon Disruption. To me, he feels something like a Silencer as a support. He doesn't really offer much lane control. He has some nukes here and there. He has a slow, but they're not really all that reliable. They're not instant. To me, he just doesn't really make that strong of a support hero.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. And speaking of Silencer, we haven't seen him for a while. I think we saw him banned a little bit earlier today. I do believe by Rising Star, but yeah, aside from that, I feel like that hero is such a great counter, if you want to call it that, against Magnus. He blink in, you silence, and suddenly he's in this awkward position. But for the most part, yeah, haven't seen that hero too much. And looks like we have Ice farming himself another Ancient Sack. This game has been somewhat more passive in the mid game compared to most other C games. And so far, I'm not sure I'm disagreeing with any of the playstyle. Both teams looking to gear to farm up, and I still retain my belief that it goes a little bit more in favor of MUFC.
Yeah, I think it does. It's a slight edge to MUFC, but I think it's one of those games. I remember casting and watching Liquid versus Na'Vi the other day. Both games, I felt Liquid had the slight edge in the late game with their lineups and how things were going, but then all it takes is one good fight, and they lose their game. And that happened 2 games in a row where execution and just a good team fight can win the game for the other team. And that's what Zenith are looking to make happen here at the mid lane.
Oh man, that fight at the Ancients on the Radiant Ancients gave me nightmare for the Na'Vi team. And
Liquid had that game in the bag, it
What's
looks like.
happening to Gaia's bottom tower?
well, hopefully neither team will be making those kind of big mistake here in this particular game. As looks like split pushing is the word of the day. On-trash player will be going for BKB and, of course, Shadow Blade. So Impale is going to hit, and looks like they're going to follow through with a huge Omni Slash. Omni Slash is going to shred him through. Very nice pick off here.
Yeah, couldn't actually, I mean, he could have maybe pulled the BKB last minute there, but he would have died anyways. He didn't have mana for a TP out, so nice bit of play there. MUFC trying to go for a bit of a counter at mid lane, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do so anytime soon.
I mean, if he popped the BKB to block the Impale, he could have Shadow Bladed and went out there, but in any case, that wasn't what happened. And looks like it's going to be 5v4 collapse. They're going to purge around Yamate. Yamate pops a haste, and he's going to be out of here. Winter is going to get slowed down. He's going to get Silence Vacuum into a Sandy Eclipse. Not exactly coming out through, and looks like Winter as well, as Visage has been brought down. Gyrocopter, BKB, and right-clicking away. Dragon is also going to get picked off. I keep calling it Sandy Eclipse, but it's not. It's called Skywrath Mage. What the hell is his ultimate?
Is it not Sandy Eclipse? Okay. Sandy Eclipse is the OD one,
yes,
yeah?
Yes,
yeah, okay. I knew what you meant. It didn't actually hit anyone. The vacuum from the Rubik made the entire Mystic Flare miss, but Zenith had such a good fight set up by the vacuum that they won it anyways. Vacuum, gyrocopter cooldown, Ice doing some big damage there as well, and everything going Zenith lane. That's the big fight they were after. MUFC get caught out. They didn't have the Alchemist alive, so it was just a 4v5 to begin with, and Zenith take tier 2. They're looking to get further and further ahead, and all of a sudden the game swings back in Zenith's favor. This game very back and forth though, so can't really count MUFC out. They've already shown that they can claw their way back in.
Yeah, if you guys are wondering, you know, why is the Alchemist even needed in that fight? He doesn't have too many items. Like, yeah, Shadow Blade BKB is nice, but you know, he's not really throwing out the deeps. It's not like he has Empower on top. I really think that Alchemist, his presence in the team fight is actually ridiculously huge, because if you drop an acid spray in conjunction with those illusions coming out from the wall, that's a lot of damage in its own right. And of course, he's going to be sitting in the front line. He's going to make it so hard for you to actually go on and support on the back line when he's BKBs, when he's right-clicking you. So not having Alchemist there, and then, like we kind of alluded to earlier, fighting in this awkward choke in the jungle was so painful for MUFC.
I mean, the trees on all three sides of them just led into a perfect wombo combo for Team Zenith here, and they're going to just keep on applying pressure to MUFC. They're unrelenting. Ice is just solo pushing a tier 2 here. Even with heroes missing on the map, he's just so confident that he can do anything he wants right now.
He's going into a Manta-style recipe back into a Battle Fury. This is like Ice to the extreme, because
he just keeps changing his mind. I mean, the guy is a bit of a troll, but I think this is more just being very indecisive about what he wants to buy.
Why Battle Fury, though?
It's like the opposite. I mean, it's just one of the best DPS items in the game. It's the main reason. I guess he just wants DPS, but it almost reminds me of Mushi, but in a different way. Mushi never knows what item he wants to get, so he just saves up like 7k gold and then buys a BKB when he could have bought it so long ago. For Ice, he's like, oh, I want this. Oh, wait, no, I want this, and just buys a piece of everything. It's this weird, like, I don't know what item to get, and just going a very inefficient way at getting these items. But right now, his play's been fantastic, so...
Well, for me though, half of the Battle Fury is the fact that if you get it early, it's regen in lane, which is always nice, and more importantly, it's a great early game farming tool. It lets you farm into your other items, but getting it 28 minutes in, is it really actually, well, 30 minutes in after he delivers it and farms it. I'm not really sure about that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but we'll see. Zenith, it's still split board. You mentioned this is the name of the game, and it seems for Zenith it really is. Ice. Anything to go through this? No.
Nope, no bashers just yet, and looks like Contract player is going to take a stun to the face. Tower is not in denying range just yet.
Okay, so not to see the tower. Someone had a gem. Okay, Visage has a gem up, so still no mech. This to me really hurts MUFC.
Yeah, headdress, and it's been sitting on the headdress for the longest time. I mean, I'd be saying that MUFC has a late game advantage, but they've been losing a lot of these fights. The gold graph now going back to about 5,000 goldie. It's been sitting there for a while, and if both team wants to farm, hey, I think Zenith is going to be fine on farming as well. And Zenith, like you said earlier, they have the hero to find these random pickoff in the form of Nyx Assassin, so he's got a gem himself. So both teams really wrestling for map control.
And as far as going towards the late game, Gyrocopter is sort of starting to overtake he has overtaken the Alchemist, which is not what you want if you're in MUFC shoes right now.
Yeah, and of course, his damage, any kind of damage item he's getting, he's hitting your entire team with Flat Cannon with it. So, looks like we're going to see Assault Curious, which is going to give him and his team a lot of added, much needed armor as well. Or are they going to smoke up and go for a big dive into the enemy jungle? It's always dangerous to fight a jungle, fight against the Omni Slash, because suddenly your team could be all dead.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't look like it's going to be happening now. MUFC sitting back. Zenith, they are smoked up, but they're just sort of sitting behind Yamate right now. I think maybe expecting some aggression coming in. I guess they want to try find a pick off, get some map control, because Roshan is coming up fairly soon. They've got a gem. Both sides have a gem now, with Zenith getting one of the Nyx Assassin. The smoke, unsuccessful, and they realize there's no wards around the Roshan pit, so when it does come up, it's pretty safe. Not to mention, I think they feel pretty confident they can get this tier 2 bottom with how low it is.
Yeah, it is. I don't really think that MUFC will defend that one. I mean, if they want to, no, excuse me, there's no glyph available anymore either. So it looks like they're going to just go for a trade here. They see the big 5-man push up and down. In fact, wow, they're not going to give anything away. Ice solo TB's in, and he should be able to slow this thing down and maybe even defend it.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Trouble brewing.
T2 gets taken in bottom lane. XY gets it. Meanwhile, mid lane. Ice, careful. Play through. He still hasn't got that Battle Fury, but he's got to end about 200 gold if he wants to buy it. Well, it looks like Zenith do want to defend this.
Yeah, it looks like they do. Got you being a little bit robotic, so maybe we'll have to start the Skype call.
Okay.
A little bit later on. In fact, we have a little bit of time to do so. So let me.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Hey gods, are you back?
Yep, I'm back. Hopefully sounding a bit better.
Yeah, sounding perfect.
Good old Skype. Everybody's favorite program the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Probably the most hated program in the Dota community the last couple of weeks.
I like how when the DDoS thing first really happened, people were sending you messages like, "Oh man, I really appreciate BTS for taking the tech high road. You know, they never get DDoS because they don't use these kind of bad programs like Skype."
That was that was just one guy, and I had a big laugh.
And we're just looking at each other. It's like, what?
I don't use Skype. We need Skype more than the teams because we're like event organizers, broadcasts. We have to be like in constant communication with teams and other stuff. So, but hey, Skype's a good program. It just has some major security flaws.
In any case, looks like the entire MUFC ready to come in, but too little, too late here as it's now ticking. Are they gonna fight a team fight over this one?
It's gonna be really risky. I guess they're relying on Dax to get a fantastic ulti, vacuum ulti ult, and if they can do that, then maybe.
They still want to fight this one. The wards, there is a Central War available. Looks like nobody was looking in this particular area, so they back off.
Well, they've got the double BKB. Both Dragon Knight as well as Alchemist have their BKB. Assault Caress finished as well on the Alchemist. So the item progression is pretty good for MUFC. DK, a bit under farm, a bit lacking in damage, but they do have what they need to somewhat fight Zenith. The problem is Zenith, they're just getting more and more farm themselves. They'll have a Scythe of Ice suit on the Skywrath Mage, and then they can just play the pick-off game.
Yeah, they really can, especially with the Vendetta up. Here's the thing, yeah, you have your BKB, but the damage output from Gyrocopter and now Juggernaut is actually pretty insane with the help of a Battle Fury now. Mantisal should be finished very soon because they're like, he's about, I want to say 15 to 1800 go away. He's got that recipe done as well, so.
Yeah, to me, MUFC, Alchemist needs one more item on top of this Assault Crest, but for MUFC can really look to have that strong late game carry, whether it's the Abyssal Blade or something like an MKB, because there is going to be evasion coming on Gyrocopter. I think Abyssal Blade is probably going to be a pretty good option here, just to have the bash with all that attack speed, but one more item for Alchemist, one more item for DK, and then I think MUFC are going to be at least close to back on even footing with Zenith, but right now, they're playing from behind.
There's also a BKB on Darkseer. That's something that we haven't, I guess, really respecting Ancient Seal, as well as perhaps Telekinesis to kind of stop his initiation. So now he gets to surge in BKB and just go to town.
There's Rubik as well as Nyx Assassin, both supports, and then the Solar-Mid Skywrath Mage are just so annoying for a Darkseer. And Darkseer, to me, he's the hero you want to be focusing and silencing most fights if you're this Skywrath. So smart pickup with the BKB.
Yep, XY looking to break this tier 2 up top. Glyph is going to get forced out. I don't really think that MUFC will defend this. In fact, they're rotating mid to get a tier 1 trade, which a Glyph comes out there as well.
Well, I think this is a fine trade for MUFC. Tier 1 for a tier 2. I mean, on paper, it's like, oh my gosh, the math doesn't work. But I think this is actually almost better for MUFC. Getting that tier 1, it was very, very annoying and hard to get. They finally get it. But Zenith, with the Aegis, they want to siege the high ground here.
Yeah, they have the healing ward, which is going to kind of somewhat nullify the Acid Spray. It looks like Ice spinning away. They're going to scythe up on YY. Where's the Force Up? No Force Up. He's going to be dead. Alchemist comes in. He's actually in the center. He's down to about half HP. BKB, wall, vacuums. It's only going to get 1 or 2, and X1 on the high ground, attacking into low ground. He's down to about half HP. X1 is going to get picked off here. Healing ward doing some work. Why is nobody focusing on that healing ward? In fact, X1 gets lifted. He's going to get focused. XY. He's going to go focus on WWK. He's going to go down. Not focusing on the healing ward. Lost MUFC that team fight. That was a huge mistake.
Yeah, and now they're still trying to chase MUFC. The fight's not quite over. Alchemist not chilling his stun right now. DK also looking for a rain stun. Gets on Gyrocopter. He's got the Aegis though. So just an Aegis popped, and this could be the second death of DK in this one fight. There's no real way out. Oh, is there? He's still got BKB actually. Alchemist channeling a stun. Going to try turn things around on Yamate, but he's going to force stuff up soon. It looks like MUFC just going to retreat the hell out of there. They hold, but it was very scrappy and very expensive.
I'm surprised after he BKB and the stun went off and against Skywrath Mage, they didn't turn around and kill him because Dragon Knight still had 50 magic wand charges. The stun was on top. The Acid Spray was on top. And Skywrath Mage, he was probably dead in that stun. Maybe it would have been a little bit of greedy kill considering that Skywrath Mage does have Force Staff available. But I thought they could have gotten it. But in any case, yeah, like you said, very expensive defense. And a lot of gold that they're farming has gone towards things like buyback, gone towards defensive items like BKB, and not really allowing them to kill as quickly as they want to.
Yeah, when you're defending like that and you have all these BKBs and looking to hold, you want to be getting kills without just throwing away your lives, because BKB it's great for surviving and fighting now, but as this game goes longer and longer and as these sort of constant Zenith push happen, if you want to break through them, you need to buy these late game damage items. But MUFC, they're dying, they're using buyback on the DK. It's not really a good long-term plan for them as far as defending. But the one hero who didn't die, who didn't have to buyback, is the Alchemist. So he's still getting more farm. He's up to 2.4k gold now.
I almost wish it was the Alchemist that died in buyback, because for MUFC's sake, it's a lot easier for him to get farm. Where the hell is DK gonna get farm? Is he ever gonna find his next item? I just don't see it happening. So I think your Darkseer is actually a secondary carry at this point, because with BKB in a very good wall, he didn't drop a good one last fight, but if you get a good one with Acid Spray on top, that's a ton of damage output.
Yeah, and to me, DK almost needs to just start looking for more utility-based time. Something like a Heaven's Halberd, I feel, here would help him more than anything. Tank up, get the evasion, and disarm will be useful against both Jug as well as the Gyrocopter. I don't think he can say, okay, I need to go for some big damage items, some big late game items. His late game is going to be entirely just tanking the hell up. Darkseer may be looking for something like a Blink Dagger to get better initiations, or even a Scythe of Vice as a late game item.
Looks like we're going to see a smoke, and they are getting to get a pick off. If you find a pick off here, that's going to be absolutely huge. Skyrev Mage, he's got to find Scythe of Vice. The stun's going to come through. Oh, Force Staff, bring him forward a little bit. Another Force Staff from the Rubik. BKB, nice dodge, and 3 hit on the Yamate. Ice, someone on the high ground. He's going to get picked off as well. Or Ice on the high ground. Looks like they want a little bit more. A slow stun. Small stun. Ice will spin and get out of there. Are they really gonna die for this? They are in tower territory. Is there buyback on Yamate? There is nothing, because he just spent a ton of gold. It looks like big Omni Slash. He's gonna get big off. The wall's gonna be on top with the flat cannon. So much work. BKB should be running out very soon. And look at that.
Nice surge.
Nice surge. Which is gonna get picked off.
3 down.
Contrast play should be done. Huge overextension coming out from MUC. I thought they got the
Dire
two
might
pick
wanna
off
mine
on
the
the
top
next
tower.
assassin, as well as on the Skyrev Mage, and be like, yeah, we're happy, we're gonna go back and farm. There's really no reason to dive to the tier 2 on the top lane because of that. They are lucky there were no buyback, because if there was buyback on Skyrev Mage, MUC would have lost probably the entire team.
Yeah, and DK got super blindsided. He was the one running in the deepest and just got completely blindsided there. He was looking for, I guess he was trying to get Ice with a stun, but then suddenly Gyrocopter pops a BKB behind him and he'd already just lost control, got completely focused down, brought down. So MUFC, once again, it's more expensive fights, and expensive fights you can't afford to have when you're behind by 8k gold at this point in the game. They're still trying to take this late, but these pushes are just going to keep on coming and keep on being very difficult to defend.
Yeah. So, unlike the Rising Star game, I feel like MUFC is making a ton of mistakes. These mistakes are very costly. Tier 3 is going to get destroyed up top, and they can easily slow sieges with the help of Healing Ward. Speaking of Healing Ward, they gotta focus. Oh, nice BKB being drawn out here. In fact, are they really going to focus it? BKB going to use on the Dragon Knight as well. Alchemist not really in position to follow through. I felt like that was a really overextension by both sides here, but they're going to chase through here. BKB going to get popped, and they want to focus them down. There's just no follow-up. This is such a lousy fight here for both sides.
Yeah, and Gyrocopter is sitting back, flat cannon damage coming out whenever possible. Ice still chasing. He's got Omni Slash in 3 seconds, but it looks like they'll just go for the Raxes there. Amazing. I mean, flat cannon Gyrocopter, late game MUFC, the familiars just get two-shotted, and they don't even have to be nearby the Gyrocopter. Flat cannon just finds them. Zenith get themselves some Raxes at 39 minutes in, blinking from Nyx Assassin. This looks like the death of DK as well as Alchemist, and possibly the death of MUFC here in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, full team wipe. Sure, there's a buyback, but the Rax is fully already destroyed. In fact, they could easily turn onto the mid lane and destroy that one if they want to, if that's what they want. Healing Ward's going to be back up in 6 seconds, so I imagine that's going to be their goal. Yamate standing on the high ground like he owns the place, because he does. So I just don't think that MUFC is going to have another defense, and more importantly, turn this game around somehow.
Yeah. Zenith are just so sustainable. They take a fight like that, and then they're ready to go again. Maybe they're missing an ultimate or two, just the Juggernaut Omni Slash. Nyx Assassin a bit low mana, but they're all fully healed from the Healing Ward. And MUFC, it's not like they have some big wombo combo that's going to work for them to win them a fight. The only real hope is maybe a Darkseer vacuum wall, but even if that succeeds, it's just going to buy them. It's just going to buy them some time. It's over, and MUFC know it. Winter calls GG.
Yeah, Zenith is going to take this best of 3, game 1, and looking really, really strong while doing so. Nothing too unconventional. Today, the victory we've been seeing is not your Slark picks, not your tree picks, just standard good old Dota, good play, prey on your enemy's mistake and go for easy wins.
We are going to see a one-game advantage going for Zenith here. This is your semi-final. This is a single elimination bracket as well. There is a third place decider, but the winner of this goes on to the grand finals, goes on to verse Tong Fu, which will be a pretty exciting match. I mean, Zenith versus Tong Fu or MUFC versus Tong Fu would be something pretty hyped up. Loser of it will verse Rising Stars in our third place decider. So Zenith, one-game advantage there, and MUFC, they look like they had some good moments. Their early game was solid. The laning stage itself wasn't great, but they made up for it with some good early game ganks. But once Zenith got rolling with some good team fights and just counter ganks, it really looked good for them. And MUFC just couldn't really compete in the late game.
And let's not count MUFC just yet. They have a chance to equalize and maybe even take the game 3. We're not gonna bail out Winter just yet, and let's see what he's got for us up his sleeve. Game 2 will be coming up soon, and hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast so far.